An evolving family is one that is very much focused in the present. An evolving family recognizes that in the past there were excellent lessons, and those certainly apply to what we're doing now. And we want to look toward the future because that's where we're going, and we need to keep an eye on that. But the real meaty, fleshy stuff is now. And it's our responsibility as parents, as leaders of the family unit, to take account of both the past and the future and figure out how to use those things constructively and respectfully now. What does that mean as far as a principle goes? Well, as parents, we bring a lot of baggage into our own family relationships. We have bags that we packed when we were kids, and we've been hauling them around for a long time. And even people that are very in tune with themselves and have a healthy self-concept and have worked through a lot of these issues are still carrying bags that were packed and may not have been sorted through in a very long time. This is normal. It's nothing to worry about. But in a family that's evolving, there's this awareness that, yes, I have baggage and that I'm bringing it, and there's a lot of stuff in there. Some of it I don't even recognize. But I need to look, and I need to know what's there, and I need to know whether or not it's of value to me now, or it will be of value to me in the future. And by that I don't mean a sentimental value. I mean, does this serve me and my family right now in my role as a parent? Will this serve me and my family in the future? Those are the kinds of things that we want to look at. So in this education and coaching cycle, we're not talking about therapy. We're not talking about counseling. We're not really digging in deep to the things that may have happened in your past with your parents or your guardians or other mentors that were important in your life. But what we want to do is have a look at that stuff and be able to say, yeah, I recognize that there are some things that I haven't quite processed. Or, oh, I see that I'm doing that thing that I never liked that my mother was doing, that I swore that I would never do. And it's that old expression where I woke up this morning and I turned into my mother, or I turned into my father. It happens. And the reason why it happens all has to do with how the brain is set up. And I'll use an analogy of hiking. So if somebody goes out and blazes a trail, that first go is really rough. You got to have a machete and you've got to cut down all of the brush to get through. And it takes a long time to wear down a path in nature that someone else will recognize, and longer still to maintain that path as a very smooth thoroughfare. When we are blazing a trail as parents, we're knocking out a lot of that stuff, right? We're spending a lot of time cutting away the trees and the shrubs and the grasses that may be in our way. We are making our own path. But what tends to happen is that the brain is an organ that is supposed to be amazingly efficient. And it is. It's designed to do this because it consumes so many calories and it needs to do things very quickly in order to help us. So what the brain does is when it has an option in a stressful situation, like a problem in a family or a challenge in a family, the brain will route stuff automatically to those paths that were blazed a long time ago, that are already worn and smooth, where many feet have traveled over many, many years. That's why we find ourselves back in the past. And then the moment happens and we've done all of this stuff, and 15 minutes later we're left with that feeling of, I can't believe that I did that. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? I feel like a 12-year-old version of myself, or that's something that my father would have done. Why did I do that? Those kinds of feelings that we have, that conflict. And that's because that's the way the brain is set up. So we need to be aware of what those paths look like and figure out where those paths go. Do they take us to the same place? And if they do, is that okay? Is the journey okay? Do we feel all right with that journey? Do they take us to a different place? Do we wind up at a completely different trailhead from where we started, and then we have to call somebody for a ride to come get us because we're in a wildly different location? But just looking at that and being aware of it and understanding how it applies to now, and if it's a good fit for now, then that's great. If it's not a good fit for now or where we want to be in the future, what kinds of things will we change? An evolving family is one that looks at this.